have today with us Dr. Aditya Mohan Jadhav, Dean at TAPMI Bengaluru. Dr. Aditya Mohan Jadhav has a doctorate in finance from ICFA University, currently professor of finance at TAPMI. Dr. Aditya Mohan comes with more than 12 years of teaching experience. Dr. Aditya's areas of expertise include financial planning and advising, business valuation, corporate finance, project finance, investment banking, corporate strategy, and corporate governance. He has published around 10 papers in reputed ABDC journals and has presented his research work in more than 15 countries. He also runs training programs in the area of project appraisal, finance, social cost benefit analysis, etc. for middle level managers from Indian Railways, Intelligroup Limited, Hyderabad Progress Software, Hyderabad ICICI Bank, National Stock Exchange, etc. In addition, he also reviews for the Economic and Political Weekly and Tata McGraw Hill Limited.
My first question is why TAPMI? What makes it separate or stand apart from other BCs?
Interesting question, Ms. Prabha, and I would like to clarify. Okay, I have a very strong belief that every school is important, right? There is no school which is better or worse. I don't believe in such a concept. Each school has its own unique aspects, unique feature, which makes it different from others. And I strongly believe that students should actually choose the school where they fit best. Okay, so TAPMI as a school started in 1980s. It is one of the oldest B schools in this country. It started from a vision of our founder Shri T.A. Pai. Okay, and Shri, if you look at the life of Shri T.A. Pai, it has been one of the most interesting lives that you can ever see. Right, he has been the part of the founding family of the Manipal Group. He was the MD chairman of Syndicate Bank. His initiatives in Syndicate Bank in those days are considered one of the best initiatives in this country, especially pro women and pro education. After which he joined as the chairman of LIC, chairman of Food Corporation of India. Then he was the Minister of Railways, he was Ministry of Mines, Heavy Industries in Indira Gandhi's government, has been at the forefront of very interesting things. He was one of the people who convinced the government to start IIM Bangalore. Otherwise, you would have an IIM Delhi instead of an IIM Bangalore. But the third IIM came to Bangalore because of his initiatives to have an IIM in the south. So someone like him was always what you can say, and doing something new, and that is the DNA that TAPMI has. So we have been consistently doing new things across the last 40 years, right? So we claim ourselves to be an innovative school over the 60-year period. And our innovations start with the aspect that we were one of the first schools to accept CAT as an entrance exam. We were one of the first schools to actually go to AICT for approval and get approved aspects. We were one of the first schools who started engaging with AACSB for international accreditations, and after ISB, we are the second school to get it in this country in 2012. Okay, each of our programs at Manipal, the MBA programs at Manipal, whether it's a general MBA, which has a very strong international immersion component, or the banking and financial services program, the BKS program of TAPMI engages strongly with BSc and National Stock Exchange and State Bank of India training and other purposes of our students, or our MBA HR program, which is in partnership with the SHRM, Society of Human Resource Management. So each of our programs at TAPMI have always looked at ensuring that the student has a very strong industry engagement, which will ensure their career prospects are strong. And that can be seen from the more than 7,000 alumni that TAPMI currently has, out of which 1/5 are at a CXO level. Yeah, so that can clearly see. And the BBA Honors program that we currently have, I am very clear it's a 4-year program. It's not a 3-year BBA, it's a 4-year BBA program with a clear-cut career path at the end of 4 years.
I was just going to come to ask you about that. Why BBA Honors? Does it come in the degree? What is the difference between the regular BBA and the BBA Honors that TAPMI is offering?
Okay, so I'll tell you where the genesis of the BBA Honors started. Okay, so it's not the first. See, majority of the students. Let's take CAT. Okay, if you take CAT as an entrance exam, you have more than 2.5 lakh students applying to it, and you see the big difference that happens in CAT is more than 70% of the people who are appearing for CAT, okay, are freshers. They come from various backgrounds, but they are all freshers. But more than 70% of the students joining the top 20 B schools, premier B schools in this country, if you look at it, are mostly people with work engineers with work experience. Because this proportion is completely flipping the minute you go to joining MBAs, top MBAs. Okay. The bigger question, and it's mostly engineers. Okay. And the reason it's mostly engineers is because a lot of people believe it is mostly engineers because engineers have that flair for mathematics and cracking the CAT entrance exam, but that's wrong. On the contrary, people who can undergo coaching for 3 years can get better CAT scores. Okay, that is an analysis we have done. The reason majority of the non-engineers are unable to go to the top schools is because they don't have work experience. Okay, and then you, if you have seen, most of the schools give weightage to work experience, and then these guys are losing out. And we would also observe the frustration, the stress that an undergrad student of management, a BBA or a BCom or a BSc will have for the fear of not being able to get into a really good B school. The reason why all these things happen is lack of work experience. So we would advise our students, those students who would come to us during interviews, to go back and work. And many of the times these students would come and say, "Sir, your advice is fantastic. It's good to give an advice to come and work. Where are the jobs? The type of jobs that I am going to get as a BBA, okay, is managing a Kisok, Airtel or something is not what I want to do." Okay, so we were looking at always what should be. So we had done a lot of analysis, and in 2020 we got a good chance because we merged with the Manipal Academy of Higher Education. Okay, Manipal Academy of Higher Education is ranked sixth in NIRF. It's ranked in the top 100 in quality of education in the Times Higher Education ranking globally, and it's ranked. It's an institution of eminence declared by the government of India, and it's a reputation brand in itself. So when we were able to merge with Mahe, we got an opportunity to enter the undergrad education. And when we decided to enter the undergrad education, we wanted to design a program which will ensure good quality jobs to the students at the end of 4 years. A very clear cut career path. So we said if I had to design a program which does not require a student to do an MBA to get a job, what should the program look like? And that is how we started working around. So we engaged with industries. We identified 12 key skills that the industry said a student should have for us to give him a job. We started working around those key skills, and then we designed a program. And it occurred to us that 3 years is not enough to really deliver what we want to deliver. It has to be 4 years. And if you go internationally, other than UK, okay, globally most of the undergrad programs are 4 year programs. Even in India, look at the professional degree programs that we have, whether it's engineering, medicine, allied health, the whole area of allied health, dentistry, uh, design, architecture, all are 4 years program. None of them are 3 year program. So our program is a professional program. It is run like a professional program. It has a very clear-cut professional acceptances with an agenda that at the end of 4 years, a student should get a job. Now, how are we able to do it? I would just take 2 minutes to take it out. So the program is split into 4 parts. Okay. The first year is a foundation year. We don't care where the students are coming from. That's one of the key things I wanted to communicate through your system. It does not matter if a student has to be a commerce or a science or arts. Okay. In the first year, we have 4 pillars on which the whole program runs. Or rather 5 pillars, I would say. There are 5 pillars on which the first year runs. The first pillar is maths. We take maths more seriously than many engineering colleges, I would like to tell you. It's not just a course to pass. We want our students to be very good in maths because today analytics is a part and parcel of everyday job. If you're not good in maths, you're going to find it difficult in analytics. Okay. The second pillar is accounting. Okay. So the second pillar, we teach accounting for 4 semesters. Many BCom colleges don't teach financial accounting for that much nowadays. But because without accounting, I will be very frank, management is just you are skimming through. You are not able to take a proper decision, database decision. The third pillar we really work on is economics. We want students to understand economics well. Today's global system is so complicated, economics is the best way to understand it. The fourth pillar is social sciences. In social sciences, we have very strong courses in anthropology, psychology, comparative literature, culture and context, scientific culture and context, and scientific thinking. Okay, and then the fifth pillar is skill-based courses. We have skill-based courses. In the year one, we teach Excel. In year one itself, we teach design thinking. Okay, so first year is like a leveler. We have brought everyone to the same level. In the second year, we introduce management. So then all functional courses of management, right, from finance, marketing, operations and supply chain, HR, OB, strategy, IT, every course that you want the functional aspect of management is taught in second year. Then in the third year, there are some advanced courses, two or three advanced courses in management. But more importantly, in the third year, we ask students to choose two. So we offer 8 elective streams for students. Okay, these are marketing, HR, finance, supply chain, IT, analytics, then economics, and then consulting and strategy is the eighth one. Okay, students have to choose two of them, not one, two of them, and both equal 4 courses each they have to study. These are courses are the actually strong base for anyone to super specialize or specialize in this area. Okay, then at the end of fourth year, in the fourth year, based on their experience of these two, they have to choose one to specialize in the fourth year, which becomes their major. Okay, now what we are being able to do is in the fourth year, by in the first 3 years we are strengthening the base so good. You know, the amount of accounting and economics and maths that I teach, stats, maths, you can call it, makes it so good that in the fourth year, ma'am, we are able to introduce electives that generally will be studied in the second year of an MBA. Okay, so in case of finance, because I'm a finance professor, I can tell you I have courses in business valuation, I have a course in portfolio management and mutual funds, I have a course in commercial banking, I have a course in retail banking, I have a course in risk management in banks, I have a course in financial derivatives, I have a course in investment banking, I have a course in then corporate governance and compliance, auditing. Okay, we are going to give students 16 courses are available for students, out of which they have to choose 10 to specialize in the fourth year. So by the end of fourth year, if the industry is saying, okay, I want to hire someone for so and so skill set, that skill set is what we are able to provide. And hence, we are sure at the end of 4 years of BBA honors, careers will not be an issue.
So I'll just start off with some of the basic questions that
Hmm.
many students will have. What is the selection criteria? What does TAPMI look at when because when you select students?
Interest. So we have a multi-stage selection process. We are looking at an entrance exam, but we are not stuck to the same entrance exam. So we have 7 entrance exams out of which we take students. Okay, so I don't want my students to undergo that rigor of continuously giving an entrance exam one after another just for the sake of it. So IPMAT Indore, IPMAT Rohtak, ChipMat, CLAT, SAT, JEE, and Manipal entrance test, which is meant for engineering. Everything is we are accepting scores from everyone. We standardize the scores and other things. So that is one component, heavy component that we have. Then we give importance to their 10th and 12th marks. And then we have weightage is given to the second stage of the selection process. Second thing I would like to be very frank, and I would take your opportunity to say, tell through you is I don't believe in the concept of cutoff. I will be very frank. So every student who applies to TAPMI, okay, will get an opportunity throughout the selection process to give an opportunity to present his views. Okay, then the merit list is finalized. So then in the we have a micro presentation and a personal interview. Based on all these components, final score is decided, a full merit list is finalized, and based on this merit list, then offers are made. So that is the selection
I
process.
have one question here.
Yeah.
Well, all the entrance exams have qualifying cutoff. JEE does not really have a qualifying cutoff. I mean,
Yeah.
you get a rank, right?
Yes.
So how does a child who's coming in through
So again, I'm telling you, I'm not looking at the cutoffs at all. Students have to submit their entrance exam scores to us, or JE gives their ranks. We have a way of standardizing, converting each one of them. So each one of them is standardized and then brought to a level before their score is given.
Then you're talking about interview and a micro presentation.
Yes.
So what does the micro presentation
Oh,
entail?
micro presentation is basically you are given a topic, you are given 2 minutes to think on the topic and 2 minutes to speak about it. We have got almost 100 odd topics identified for micro presentations, and they are listed on our website. Okay, so we are not even.
No, actually, because it's a new concept. You see,
Yeah.
children generally are students at a certain level. They prepare for every single thing. So
No, we don't want them to prepare. We want
exactly.
them to think on the spot to see what is it. So that's why we have put up the topics on the website. But you will not know what the, because it's not a PPT presentation. He just has to organize his thoughts and speak out. We just want to understand whether they can organize their thoughts coherently.
I think it's a good way because students should understand that they're moving forward on how they think,
Yeah.
on how their passions go or how their interests lie. And that is
Yes.
something that should not be influenced by anything except their own methodology.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so you're more or less, because one of my questions was why so many entrances, especially JEE Main, CLAT and all that.
No, but I want, no, no, the question is not that. You see, today, whether we like it, let's take IPM, ma'am, because you are into this business of IPM, we guide people on IPM. Let's be frank, how many seats of IPM exist in this country?
That you'll have to compile and figure
Yeah,
out.
ma'am, if you calculate, I will tell you. Okay. Indore has 180 seats. Uh, Rohtak has around 120 or 180 seats. I forgot which how much. Let's assume 180. Then you have Jammu is 60, Ranchi is 60, Bodh Gaya is 60. Okay, so that's another 180, 480 seats. Okay, let's add TAPMI 60 seats. Okay, because UGC structure, AICT structure is such that IPM, the students have to ultimately merge with the general MBA cohort, and the general MBA cohort in most of these places is so high that they don't want to add too many IPM students. Okay, so you add another 60 seats of IPM, and TAPMI, IFMR Chennai, another 60 or 90 seats, one of the best schools, one of the very good schools in this area, and IIFT another 180 seats. See, you stretch the highest. Okay, even you go stretch to the highest level, you are not looking at more than 1,000 seats. I don't think even you have. Then we are not looking at the means I have nothing against reservation, right? But the number of seats available to open children are slightly low. Issue is not that. Issue is today you are 30,000 students appearing for it. Okay, and if you are saying let's assume 1,000 seats are available, that is 1:30 is the ratio that is happening, right? And so the fear that I might not get a good seat is why a student appears for entrance exams. I'm not joking. I had last year a student who came to me, and I did a survey. I purposefully did a survey. A student actually appeared for 14 entrance exams. You're talking of 1-4 in that whole summer. Okay, and she was still not sure whether she will get a good career start or not. Okay, that's why we don't want to add to that burden, and hence we are ready. We are very happy to take CUET. I will not joke, but the results of CUET never come on time. This year we are still waiting for GIPMAT results. I have a set of students who have applied to me through GIPMAT, and their whole process is on hold because GIPMAT is NTA is unable to declare the result. You see, this is what we are, to tell you the truth, uncomfortable. That's why we want to take that many admission entrance exams. We want to give students a fair chance, not increase their stress. Once they join the program, it is going to be a stressful program for 4 years. I will be very frank. It's a hectic program. with the focus on maths, accounting. A lot of parents and students come back to and say, sir, why is my student kid studying so much maths? So engineering kar leta. But I want to make the parents understand that a company is today not recruiting an engineer versus a BBA. Company is saying, does he have these skill sets? Can he do good analytics? Yes, take him. What he has studied is not, and that is what we want to build in them. That's why.
There's one question that I really wanted to ask. It's like nowadays the IPM, these are
Yeah.
the integrated programs. So I want to take that up. In your opinion, how does this work? Because I always have felt an undergraduation, some work experience, and then you decide where you want to go because you
Yes,
get a
you're
better
right.
idea. But
Yeah.
if you do an IPM and IPM is taking off, a lot of parents say, "Chacha, साथ में you get one MBA at the end of the entire thing." So fair
No.
enough.
I will be very frank. This whole idea of IPM, see, the whole idea of IPM started with Dr. Ravichandran at IIM Indore, and he also, because he was with Manipal Group as a consultant. So I had a privilege of having a discussion with him also on this front, and his whole contention was the same, that many students, especially people without work experience, when they join MBA, see, it's not like your MBA people today who are joining are with work experience, right? You still go to leave the top 20 and go below. Many of the students pursuing today MBA are freshers only, right? So the thing he would say is, the guys who are coming as freshers, okay, they don't have the work experience to appreciate management, nor have they studied in the undergrad good enough to appreciate management. Okay, and there they struggle during the 2 years of MBA. He wanted to resolve that problem, and that's why he came out with this whole idea of IPM with a BA Foundations of Management as the base degree. Okay, and it's a very interesting 3 years that they do. Okay, in itself, it's not a degree which can get you anything. So think of IPM as a hotel. In case of a restaurant, a chef would actually make some preparations in advance, keep everything ready, so that when the time comes, he can mix the things and really create a signature dish and serve. So IIM Indore's first 3 years has been thought through that preparatory mode. Whereas AICT and many others have come out with this criteria that it has to be a BBA and a degree in itself. So certainly there are issues on the what will a student do. So take care, takes let's take case in our case also. We do have a very strong foundations in management. You would have understood in the first 3 years of MBA management, whatever he should have studied during MBA. Okay, first year of MBA, and then he still goes and joins the general MBA program. The uniqueness that is there is now he's merging with the cohort with people with work ex, and hence they should learn from each other in a completely different manner. If that works out, if that happens, it's a fantastic idea. And today, whatever said and done, MBA has a much larger job guarantee than any other degree, and that's why parents are saying, if my kid is only going to do a BBA, better MBA. So there is nothing wrong in the idea of IPM. Rather than doing an MBA in a UG in another school, not getting a job, and then doing an MBA, this is a continuation. So IPM as an idea has one flaw, that is you are getting a terminal degree without experiencing how things are on the ground, right?
Yes.
But that terminal degree flaw can be resolved through different approaches. Yes, certainly. What happens if the student joins IPM and then graduates with an MBA, let's assume in finance? The biggest problem I always see is finance, and that's why I give that example. A lot of people believe that because they're very good in numbers, techniques, and other things, they should do finance. But when you go onto the ground, finance is more about convincing people to give money. Managing money is not even done by 1% of the total financial cohort. Today, the whole financial industry, you take banking and NBFCs and investment companies, 99.99% of the people are involved in fundraising. Okay, through deposits, through mutual fund sales and other things, whether it's the insurance sector and all. And only 0.01% are involved in operations, and 0.00001% might be involved in fund management, because you don't need more than one or two portfolio managers, right? But the whole finance academics is targeted towards that 0.0001%. Okay.
Is it
And
correct?
this dichotomy, that when I go on the ground, I am doing something completely different, is where the problem is. Now let's look at marketing. Is marketing not, ma'am? A lot of marketing guys will do digital marketing and this and sales and all. But many people forget the fact that marketing is all about managing a team. 2 years down the line, you are going to be a sales manager. Sales manager doesn't go door to door convincing people to buy things. He is motivating his team to go door to door and yeah. But tell me one marketing program where we have spent time on making them understand team management. I'll give you a third example, ma'am, and I'll stop there. My own cousin, or rather my brother, okay, is in HR. One fine day, he called me and he said, "Tell me the top and easiest understanding income tax books." And I was like, "What happened?" He said, "I had no idea that as an HR, I have people walking into my office every alternate day saying, ये टैक्स के लिए ये करना है, इतना पैसा बचाना है, क्या करना है, बताओ." And he says, I am like looking at them and they are saying, explain me my compensation package. They are saying, can you revise my compensation package to reduce tax things? He's in the IT sector. So he actually decided to study income tax a little. Which HR program spends time on personal taxation? Only flaw in IPM is that the student will get a terminal degree without that practical what can happen. And whether we like it or not, but the uncertainty of a job in a regular 3 year BBA is the reason why people are behind IPM. But the number of IPM seats are not that. So through you, I just want to inform the parents the best way how to evaluate a good IPM program. The easiest way to evaluate a good IPM program is not to forget that your son or daughter is going to graduate with an MBA degree. They are not going to graduate with the IPM degree. There is nothing like IPM. And if you are going to graduate with an MBA degree, the CTC that the college is able to generate for MBA is what your kids are going to get. Okay. You can slightly increase over time because it's a 5 year program, but that should give you a fair idea of how much you are going to invest and how much you are going to gain out of it.
So my other question is, like, you were describing the program structure, BBA honors program. So how will a child choose those specializations that they have to take up?
Okay, so what we do is we have a series of internships, ma'am, which helps in resolving this problem. So at the end of first year, we have a social internship. What we intend to do is we want to develop the problem solving skills of the kids. So what we do is we work on the idea of design thinking in year one. Then they go to an NGO, work with an NGO, work on the design thinking aspect, and get a hands-on idea of how to not only identify a problem but solve a problem. Then we go to the this one. We have a program, a management decision sciences course, which also looks at other ways of problem solving. So from design thinking to other ways of problem solving. Then they undergo the 8 various aspects of management, functional management. Then we have a compulsory 8 weeks of sales internship. We place the students and we ensure that the students are placed with a stipend. Okay, we insist on stipended placements. We are very clear on this, and students also get a target. Okay, so my first batch sales internship is over. I have these are second year BBA students, ma'am. I have got at least 10% of the students have been offered a PPO by now by these companies. Okay, our average stipend was 22,000 per month for this 8 week internship, and many of them have already got a PPO of 6, 7, 8 lakhs, and they are saying no, we are not interested. Okay, their whole focus, they are saying we are not. The reason we insist on sales internship, it's not an easy internship to do because it is a compulsory sales, cold calling and all, but we want to remove this whole inhibition about generating money, earning money from the minds of the students. And that's why this is an internship which they undergo stressful whatever, but you should see they are not only spending time, they're doing sales, ma'am. They are interacting with people. They are actually spending time with companies, understanding what the company does and other things. Okay, we want them to actually spend time on all these things for a very simple reason. At the end of it, they should say, okay, this was a great, this is what I want to do, this is what I don't want to do, this is what happens here, this does not happen here. All those aspects is what we are looking for. Then they have
That's a
to
very
choose
good
two areas.
idea.
Yeah, we are not asking one area,
Very.
I'm asking him to choose two areas. So by now he has a fair idea of what are his interest areas. We are further asking him to choose two areas in the third year of specialization, study them, and at the end of third year, we have a 4 months of corporate internship in the area of his choice. So a finance guy will get a finance corporate internship, HR, everything. Okay, 4 months. We are not talking of a month or 8 weeks or 10 days, 4 months. And we want them to spend that 4 months time. I'm sure when they will spend 4 months is a fairly long time for companies also to evaluate, for the student also to really evaluate. And based on that experience, we are asking him to now choose the specialization for the fourth year. And we also have career counseling. So we have three aspects. So we have a student development program in the first year, which looks at the three key skill sets. One is stress management, second is time management, third is team management. Okay, in the first year itself, these are the three key areas we focus on. In the second year, we have Leadership Assessment and Development Center, and we also have workshops on emotional intelligence and mindfulness and other things, continuation of the stress management and other aspects. But the focus is Leadership Assessment and Development Center, where a student undergoes 7 psychometric tests, and we have our in house trained faculty who accordingly guide the students on what are their weak spots which they have to develop, and what are their strengths, so the student has fair idea on that. In the third year, we start career counseling sessions. We actually engage career counselors to engage with the students and guide them throughout it. And then in the fourth year, we are basically looking at once a professional development program, it is called, which is basically aimed at ensuring that they are completely ready to face corporate interviews and the corporate careers. So this is, so it's a very packed and intensive program. I always tell my students, be sure you want to commit next 4 years to me because I'm committed to it.
With no hard work, there will be no gain either.
Yeah,
It cannot always be a breeze, and that's the reason why. And that also makes it, I guess, unique. Hands-on experience, you get to decide where
yeah,
you want to go, which I think is much better.
yeah,
Because I feel our education system, most of the students do not do the research. They're not even taught. It's not
yeah.
their fault either.
Can't blame them for that.
Yes, that they're given or they're schooled or they're spoon fed. With time, they start thinking it works out. So my next question is: would there be scholarships for this program? How
Yes, so we have 10% of the cohort gets 20% of the scholarship, but the scholarships are not at the entry level. Means what? The top 10% as per the CGPA of the year gets scholarships in the form of fee refund. Every year you have to be in that top 10%.
So this is just a merit scholarship.
Yeah, we have a merit scholarship. Mahe has a, as a university, has a lot of different types of scholarships for different type of students. These are overall. Means these are not specific to any school. From the school side, we have merit scholarship. There are mean scholarships and other scholarships specifically at Mahe, which is at overall.
So students can actually, if they want to apply.
Yeah, yeah.
So one of the other questions that normally come from students is how much of technology is incorporated in the curriculum? How is it incorporated?
Okay, I will tell you very simply. Okay, we are a B school with three labs already in place and a fourth lab being set up. Okay, so I have an analytics lab. Okay, I have a financial research lab. My financial research lab is supported by Bloomberg. TAPMI already has Bloomberg and Reuters, which access is available, plus S&P Capital IQ and CMI. Okay, then I have a supply chain lab. Okay, we have one of the few which, and it is all tech oriented. So we should understand the fact that TAPMI Bangalore's flagship has also an flagship MBA program. TAPMI Bangalore's MBA program, ma'am, is MBA in technology management. The fact that I have an MBA in technology management, okay, should clearly tell you the strength I have on the tech space. And this is Bangalore. I don't think any other place in this country has this much tech involved that much we have, and we have incorporated tech everywhere.
So the other part is that industry connect, of course, comes through the internship. Are there other areas where the alumni and the industry connect is incorporated, or students get a glimpse of it through workshops or?
Oh, we have a lot of alumni in Bangalore itself, and they keep on dropping down into the campus to interact with the students. They love it. One of the most interesting things that we have is an alumni mentorship program that starts in year three. So, in the alumni mentorship program, we connect one alumni with one student. Okay, and this alumni acts like a third umpire, guiding the students through his career choices.
It's actually a very brilliant. It's
Yeah.
also a motivator because you're seeing somebody who's passed out from the
Yes.
same college. Makes
Yeah.
it more motivating. Then what kind of placements? Now, this is very important.
Yeah.
Always
I
feel.
will be very frank, ma'am. None of my batches have graduated yet,
No, yeah.
so I can't tell you the placement number.
No,
My target placement for the batches for the current batch that will join is around 10 lakh CTC is what I'm looking at on an average. This is my average CTC. Might be, might not be possible. I can't promise anything, but we are trying towards it. But the fact that our first batch of sales internship, we could place everyone 100% placements without any issues at an stipend of 22,000 per month. I think I am on the right track on this front.
When I was asking about the placement question, I was wanting to ask about what kind of support other than the internships.
We have a full-fledged placement as corporate engagement cell, and I have a very fantastic colleague of mine, Abhishek Singh, almost 20 years work experience in the corporate engagement area. He has been doing placements in top B schools in this country, who has taken charge of it. A very dynamic approach. I have a full-fledged student team which engages with companies. So placements, and I you tend to forget that we are still TAPMI. It's not one versus another and all. So TAPMI Manipal's placement whole system is with us. We have TAPMI Manipal right now engages with 400 companies for placements in internships and final placements. All those companies are available to us. I have 6,000 alumni backup on. So placement is something I'm really not worried. I am sure that the 4 months internship would end. I am 100% sure, ma'am, that if my student really works for those 4 months of internship diligently, the student will graduate with an means will get a PPO.
That's actually very heartening for parents, I guess. The students, the parents are the ones who.
Yeah, no. I understand the stress they are going through. After all, they are putting a lot of faith in me by sending their students. There is no question. They have full right to ask this question, and I'm thankful you are raising this question to us. We are very committed on that front. I will also tell you, this is not the only career path we are planning for. Students actually have 4 more career paths at TAPMI. uh, leave the last one out, family business, okay, because it is only for specialized curated family business situations. But one is this corporate career path that we just discussed. The second one is actually a research career path. So as you know, now after 4 years of honors, you can directly do a PhD. A lot of people are looking at it very seriously. What we want to do is, and uh, anyone at the end of 3 years who wants to pursue a PhD actually gets attached to a full-time faculty member at TAPMI for the 4th year, and spends the whole 1 year in not only understanding research methods and research processes, but working on a research paper and publishing it with the faculty. Okay, and at the end of 4 years, they are getting honors through research. And when you get honors through research, this whole thing, faculty, it is the faculty's responsibility to connect through their network to foreign universities and other things to ensure that the student gets placed for PhD to a foreign university. This is something we are very seriously thinking about. Then we have a third track on entrepreneurship. Anyone who completes the 3 years and wants to pursue an entrepreneurship, so we have a very vibrant e-cell in the campus, in the right. So the first 3 years, we just want them to spend time in finalizing the idea, the ECL idea, bring it to shape. Once that ECL idea is done and there is a clarity on how the ECL will work, means their ideas will work, we have an institution called MILES, Manipal Institute of Innovation, Leadership and Entrepreneurship. It is managed by Mr. Raghu Kawale, a very strong industry professional with 25 years of work in Infosys as their entrepreneurship department head. He was a very senior director position. So Raghu Kawale, what will happen is Raghu and his team will evaluate these ideas. And if they think the idea is great, then this guy will move to Miles for the fourth year, will work with them in strengthening his ideas. At the end of fourth year, if the idea is very good, Mahe has an Mudbi, Manipal University's Technology and Bio Incubator. Okay, we will help the student present his plan, complete business plan that is worked in the fourth year to Mudbi. And if Mudbi likes the plan and thinks it has depth, and they will give you reasons of rejection and selection. If they select it, they will fund the idea, and the guy can continue his entrepreneurship journey later. We are not only stopping there, ma'am. What we are saying, let's assume you join Moodby 2 years down the line, your idea does not take shape. Come back to us and we will help him get placed. If we want to stand by our students, we are not going to leave them halfway just because they graduated. TAPMI never does it with any of its alumni. Okay, this is the third one. Then the fourth track, we have study abroad track. We already have an MOU with Deakin University, Australia, and Southampton University, where both of these, we are saying a student who gets 8 CGPA and above in our program will get a direct admission to the MBA degree at Deakin and an MS degree at Southampton in their specialization areas. Okay, proper, no selection process, nothing. The seat is confirmed. It's up to the student to whether to pursue it or not. Okay, so and we are in type with we are in discussion with another 3-4. So by the time these guys come to the third year, I intend to have at least 8 schools lined up for them. Then we are finalizing our tie with CFA Institute, FRM, GARP for scholarships for our students to pursue these professional degrees. I am very clear at the end of this 4 years, when I committed to a student that your careers will kickstart, he will have so many opportunities to kickstart his career that it should not be a problem.
Because I was just going to ask you what after BBA, and then you've just completely given a lot of options.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant thing.
And then we also have one more we are very flexible school, so we should understand that. So what I have telling, see, I understand many students still want to pursue MBA. They're very clear they want to pursue MBA. Many parents are saying, sir, what are the opportunities for pursuing MBA? So what we are doing is, let's assume you finish your 3 years and I am telling my students, you want to give a shot to an MBA, okay, go ahead. We are ready to give them a 1 year sabbatical. Okay, we are telling them, take a 1 year sabbatical, go prepare for CAT, give your best. See, I'm sure if my student is able to crack the CAT entrance exam score very well, let's assume 90 percentile and above, in the 3 years, the way he has worked in sales internship and everything else, he will be very easy. GDPS of any IIMs, I don't think is going to be ever a problem to him. It will be a cakewalk. Seriously, I'm telling you. That's the preparation we are doing in the first 3 years. Okay, so I'm ready to give him 1 full year. I'm telling him, go appear for CAT, try your best. Let's assume you get into an IIM. I will be the happiest person that my kids are going gung ho and doing great. But let's assume for God forsaken reason doesn't happen. Come back and join the fourth year. Your seat is confirmed here. You don't have to worry about if I don't get through CAT. Okay, I'm still here for you guys to accept. And then we also have TAPMI Manipal also has agreed for one thing. So anyone who is pursuing BBA honors with us and has a 7 CGPA and above can appear for TAPMI Manipal entrance exam process without CAT, directly GDPA process. It's not a confirmed seat. Okay, they still have to clear the GDPA and get through. but CAT score is not necessary.
That's also a very good.
Yeah. So we are giving options to the students. They have to just exercise them.
I'm glad we had a elaborate discussion on that because there are so many options I think. So which brings me to one more question. So since you have been saying that after the third year, so if there is an exit policy after the third year, or is it just that they have to complete the 4 years and
No, no, no. You have an exit option at the end of third years. Also, to come to the honors year, students have to clearly satisfy two criteria. First is they should have cleared every subject by the end of third year, and then they also have to get a 6.5 CGP out of 10 to be invited to honors year. So students have an exit option at the end of third year with a BBA degree. If they want to leave, but what we are telling to students is don't exercise this exit option. I will give you a sabbatical. Exercise it. If you get an admissions, I will give you the degree. Very
I think
simple.
that's a much better option. At
Yeah.
least they have the guarantee of coming back and pursuing.
Yeah, there is something to fall back on.
Okay, so my last request would be, could you give some advice, message to students? Because picking up a B school or going in for B requires a little bit of, introspection, a little bit of research.
Yes.
So, any message in that?
So I have three suggestions to the students. Okay. Don't choose a degree program because it's easy or difficult. Okay, that's not how you choose a degree program. It should have interest. Your interest makes more importance, right? A lot of students today are saying, should I do a engineering? Nahi, bahut padhai karni padti hai. I'll do an IPM or a BBA. It's not that easy. IPM or BBAs are actually can be more difficult if the program is properly done. So interest is something that is going to make a decision. Second thing, if you are going to make a choice of a school, look at the opportunities the school is providing you. That's the best way of evaluating, especially if the choice is between IPMs. Then the best way to evaluate an IPM is to look at the CTC of the MBA program, because ultimately your degree is that of the MBA degree. It is not going to be something else. So, and third thing is, it's a four. These are your 3-4 years of your most important part of your life. They are formative years. So engage in all possible activities, proper activities that the school provides you opportunities with, because this is what is going to shape your career later.
I think that's wonderful advice, Dr. Aditya. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Prabha, for having me.